All right, Libra, welcome. Welcome to Blood Moon Oracle, Libra. How are you doing? I hope this day finds you in the highest of energies and spirits. Let's take a look. Welcome to Blood Moon Oracle. We're taking a look today at future energies around lessons coming towards you when it comes to love, life, and career. Okay, so we're going to start with love. Let's take a look. I hope you guys are well today. What are the lessons coming towards Libra in the future concerning love? Let's take a look for Libra. If you would be so kind to please consider like, sharing, subscribing. If you subscribe, make sure that you hit the bell so you're notified whenever I go live or post new content. Let's take a look. Lessons around Libra in the future concerning love. Libra, lessons in love in the future. Is it so good? All right, for Libra in the future. Lessons around love in the future. Okay, so we have the Star, Aquarius energy, Charity, the Chariot, Cancer energy, Justice, you're showing up in your own energy, Libra, and then the Tower, which is Aries energy, Saturn energy. So let's take a look, Libra. All right, Virgo, welcome. And so with the Star, I feel like you are actually the Star, the Charity, and the Chariot. I feel like you're in a very inspired energy in the future as it pertains to love. This could actually be a time where you are enjoying a very fruitful, you may be seeing a lot of passion in your connection here in the future, a lot of good energy between you all, between you and your either your person that you're in a relationship with or the one that you're looking at possibly from a distance. I feel like the Star points to just constantly having the passions and the energies being replenished. There will be a time of just being in abundant energy and passion with whoever it is that you're dealing with. The interesting thing about this, though, Libra, is that with Charity and the Chariot, it almost feels like one of you could be very passionate, very loving, very kind, very generous, almost like in the energy of being a blessing to all of those around you. There's some level of charity that pours out of one of you. And it's almost like everyone that comes into contact you is touched by this love that you bring. Like you're very reliable, very faithful, very passionate and happy to, share what you have, share yourself with others. You could definitely be looking at this as possibly wanting long-term connection. And instead of being someone that's trying to get approval from others, you could probably try to really touch the heart of the person that you are attracting or the person that you're currently connected to. Now, on the other hand, the other person in this connection in the future, I'm hearing, is actually a little bit the opposite, in the opposite energy with the Chariot. This is energy that is very physically driven. And so this could be someone with a very high sexual drive, right? It's very sexually driven. Whereas one of you with the Chariot is very emotionally, passionately driven, the other person has this ruling kind of passion in the relationship where they're driven by their desires. They may even be conflicted, internally with the different passions that are warring within them. And so it feels like someone who may be even fighting the temptation to be on some kind of conquest. On one hand, they could be wanting, to be in this energy of, this passionate, reliable, that energy that the charity is bringing. But then there's another energy that's warring within this person. If you look at this picture, we have a black horse and a white horse leading the chariot, leading the charge. And that represents the double-sidedness of this person in trying to decide which path to take, which way to go, which desire to allow to run the show, And so this could be, being connected with someone who the majority of the relationship is physically based. There's not a lot of true connection coming from this person or emotional connection. It's very physically driven and stimulated. And so this could be a need to really communicate on a deeper level to find out, where you both are. Because it feels like, I don't know, things feel good right now with the star, but the long-term expectations may be off, right? Things may definitely be good in the moment, but what is the expectation long-term is what I'm hearing. And so if you're in a relationship, there may be a need to discuss long-term plans. If you're just looking or waiting on love, you may be running into people who are very highly motivated, highly driven, really action-oriented people who travel a lot. Maybe you're traveling and you meet this person in the wind, but I do see you taking on lots of different ventures and possibly meeting people at different events. Yeah. And so you may be traveling and happen to run across somebody on a very interesting trip that you're taking, And so in the future, I also have justice here. You're coming out in your own reading. I feel like you are in a very protected energy right now. The justice says that you are protected. And what I mean by that is that if there is any issues around love, you have an advocate, right, that will be standing in your corner. And so if for some reason any connections that you're in, any future connections that you'll meet up with, if there's ever any, mistreatment of you, Libra, you could be actually advocated, right? And the scales will be balanced in your favor. As you can see, she's holding scales, and then she's holding a sword in the other hand. Both of these represent justice, right? And action taken if necessary. Yeah. They represent power of the law to do what needs to be done in order to equal the playing field. And so if for some reason you're in a relationship in the future and something happens or someone actually does something and you end up with the short end of the stick, or someone ends up mistreating you in some kind of way, I feel like this is foretelling the outcome being in your favor. Also, this is maybe talking about you too, Libra, taking a look at in a very broad perspective, like your actions, whatever actions that you're taking, actually being something that's agreed upon. Like you'll take some action in response to, the relationship, and some act taken maybe in order for you to protect yourself, or in order for you to move away from something that's not balanced. Like you may end up making a decision in your own favor, and it's going to actually be validated, right? You'll be seen as taking the right action. And this could also be you standing up for someone. This could be you defending someone as well, your significant other or someone that you are in connection with in the future. You may need to take a stance for that person, or vice versa. They could be taking a stance for you. If you're not in a relationship, you could actually find yourself having a lot of flings, is what I'm hearing. I know the Chariot is very fast moving energy. This depicts a lot of traveling, right? You may have an opportunity just to meet a huge amount of people, where you just have the opportunity to, have it like that for a moment while you're traveling. I do see a lot of people passing through for you that you're going to connect with. You're going to have the opportunity to do that. But I feel like even as you have the opportunity to widen your perspective and your experience with love, to also stay in touch with yourself, Libra. In all of the array of the opportunities that pass through, if you're looking for love, not to get too comfortable and too, if I'm going to use the word loose, right, with these opportunities as they come through, because you may actually meet your person in the midst of all of these other people that are passing through. And if you have this very unattached, very loose sense of the word love, or a loose feeling, loose attachment to your own feelings and your own truth when it comes to connecting with people in love, you may in fact overlook your one, right? And so this comes with a warning for those of you that may be looking for love, to stay attached to your feelings and be honest, right? Don't take for granted the fact that you could be running across the energy that you're looking for, or the person that, is aligned for you. And so I feel like Spirit wants you to really stay in touch with yourself and really be honest. Okay. If you don't, feel anything, that's fine. But if you do, not to chop it up as just, not to chop it up as just, if you're feeling something for real, pay attention to that and give it, serious consideration if you're looking for love. Okay. That's if you're looking for love. We also have the Tower. So for some of you, things may not necessarily end up in the long run. As I was saying, there's like in long term, things feel like they're on different courses or different paths. In the long run, it may in fact feel very, special right now. It may in fact feel very adventurous and very passionate, right? But in the long run, things may like run their course, right? There may in fact come a time where things just cease to exist with the current relationship or the current connections, with the current considerations that you're making. This says that something may not work out necessarily the way that you had intended. Like I said, there's two different intentions here when we look under the surface of this very passionate, exciting connection or relationship. And time usually does tell, right? So somewhere along the line, you may end up, just realizing, well, maybe this isn't the one. Maybe things, weren't meant to work out. Now, not that every relationship is going to be perfect, right? The tower could also represent having things fall apart so that they can come back together in the correct way, right? Having things fall apart so issues can be addressed and healing can take place, and that things can be actually built, the relationship can be built on solid foundations. The tower represents, tearing down things, usually because they're not built on solid foundations. There's some level of, we're talking about love and connections and relationships, there may be some secrets that are being hid that end up coming out sometime down along the line that just, invalidates everything that happened prior, right? Or there could be the realization somewhere along the line that maybe we weren't so aligned, and I'm just going to go this way and you can go that way and we're good, It could be a point in your relationship where you can no longer grow without healing some things. And so there's something that happens that causes healing to become the priority because you both want it to work, right? So the tower can represent many different things, but it does represent a bit of trouble in the future in regards to the relationship. Sometimes it ends up making the relationship stronger. Sometimes, it diminishes the relationship because there's someone else that was actually better aligned, but for whatever that is, this is just saying that there may be some things that in the long run may not work out as planned, okay? Or it may not be as solid as it feels, at a certain point in the future, right? The further you go along, things may actually get to the point where they may seem unworkable. But overall, hey, it sounds like you're having a really good time at some point here in the future. I say enjoy it while it lasts, It all plays a part in the overall experience of love. So let's take a look at the lessons coming in as it pertains to life in general for you, Libra. So what are the lessons for Libra in life in general coming up here in the future? Lessons for Libra, life in general, in the future. I always look at relationships as kind of, they're like tools that help us to grow. Not everybody that we meet are meant to accompany us for our lifelong journey. Some people are meant to come in and teach us a lesson. Once we learn that lesson, the relationship no longer serves a purpose, so we go our own separate ways. It's called karmic connections or karmic relationships. They're relationships that are meant to teach a particular lesson, right? Those are the ones that end up showing us the right way to love. Those are the ones that end up showing us whether or not we actually love ourselves, and they sometimes lead us to the place of loving ourselves, right? They're purposeful, not necessarily lifelong relationships. For each relationship that I was able to experience, they all taught me something different. Yeah, they all taught me something different. And so, were they my person that I ended up being with the rest of my life? No. But did they play a part in who I became today? Absolutely. Yes, they did. And so this isn't so much about, focusing in only on the person that we are supposed to spend the rest of our life with. No, this is about our journey overall. This is about the process of growing and experiencing life on our journey, right? And so love is that way too. It's a journey that we get to experience. All right. So let's take a look and see what you are learning in general in the future as it pertains to life, Libra. Okay, so first of all, we have waterproof. We have territory. We have illusion. And we have balance. And so I feel like in the future there's going to be lessons around being able to be very resilient, and if I can say, there be things where you'll need to develop tough skin, right? Not letting everything affect you. Like, some things don't need to affect us. Some things aren't meant to have any type of energy, For example, as I do, my readings, not all of the comments are positive. Like, sometimes I can, I respect what everyone says, but not everything is meant to be taken to heart. Like, some things you just notice and it's like, okay, cool. You just keep on going, And so it's that kind of energy. In the future, there's going to be some things that will attempt to rub you the wrong way or ruffle your feathers or get under your skin. But just like this water is just rolling off of this bird's back, that's one of the lessons you're going to be learning in the future, just to be unbothered, right? To be unbothered, no matter how frustrated you may get or you may seem with how things are going down. There's going to be a need to learn how to possibly even be certain of yourself and who you are and what your purpose is, right? That's definitely one way to avoid being knocked off balance, which is another lesson you're learning in the future, is to be certain of who you are and know what your purpose is. And let that be your focus. If things come along and align with that, yeah, okay, let's consider it. Let's allow it to come in and, possibly even challenge us in ways. But if it's something that's totally irrelevant to what it is that you've been, given charge to do, to focus on, or is something that's not going to add to your life in a positive way, you may be being called to learn how to be unbothered in the best way. Okay, Libra? That may be one of the lessons coming around. And so this almost makes me feel like there's going to be some challenges headed your way, just in life in general, and you're going to need to be able to have inner peace about it and just remain unbothered and continue on. And it has a lot to do with balance and staying focused. The best way to stay focused is, or this to stay balanced is to stay focused, is to, um, it almost feels like making sure you are giving your attention to the right things and being in tune with yourself too, right? If you are in tune with yourself and you understand yourself, even your weaknesses or your little, what do they call those? Our little, those things that just nick at us, I forget the name of it, but our own little pet peeves, that's what I'm thinking of. If you know yourself, then you're more likely to be able to stay balanced, right? Because you already know, well, okay, I'm getting a little frustrated because this is one of the things that gets under my skin a little bit, and so you're more understanding and you're more equipped to handle that when it arises. It's almost like you're expecting what's coming. And so I feel like in order to stay balanced, it's just making sure that you understand yourself. So there could be lessons coming around that for you. We also have territory. In the future, there could be some lessons around your space. It could be around you being a little bit guarded and protective around your space in some type of way, shape, or form. I feel like there could be lessons about protecting your space too. Being a little bit assertive when it comes to, your space. There could be, situations where people come in and test your boundaries. You may set your boundaries and someone will purposely try to cross over those boundaries just to kind of see how far they can go before you get flustered, And so it feels like there's going to be some lessons around setting boundaries, guarding your space. This could also be you needing to stick to your boundaries. One of the things that we have to learn to do is to value ourselves more than others. There's been times where I've set boundaries and I lowered boundaries for certain people that may not have needed, they hadn't yet proved, to have that type of space in my life. Now, there are those who do, but not everybody should have that consideration for you to quickly adjust your boundaries, right? And so this could be lessons around you sticking to your guns. And actually, if you say something and you set a boundary, you need to carry that through, even for yourself too. That's important too, not just for others, but this could be for yourself too. If you've set a standard for yourself, not allowing yourself to go backwards and compromise the standards that you said you wanted to set, right? There's a lot of energy around self-discipline, I feel like. It takes discipline to not let people get under your skin. It takes discipline to stay focused and not be thrown off balance. It takes discipline to set boundaries and hold to what it is that you said, okay, for yourself and for others. And then we have illusions. So this could be lessons around, you'll be learning, possibly seeing people or someone for who they really are. I feel like illusions talks about this energy of limerence. Limerence means that we have made up in our mind, we've created a character for someone, and that's not really who that person is. It's who we have made them to be in our mind. In reality, The person that we have actually assigned a character to is nothing like that, right? And so there could be challenges around having that illusion shattered. And so you may have kind of perceived in your mind about someone or something that you fantasized and kind of made up your own story about this person or about this thing. And it could not be further from the truth, only if you knew, right, what was happening when you're not looking. But there's some lessons around that. And Spirit could be actually revealing some things to you in the future to shatter those illusions. There's some level of truth that's going to come forward. And it all has to do with you being conscious, being aware, being honest, right? Sometimes it's not listening to what people say, but it's watching what they do, right? And seeing if their words match up with what they're saying, if their actions match up with what they're saying, right? And are we believing blindly, right? And just constantly giving passes, when people cross our boundaries or they don't meet up to the standards that we've declared to set for ourselves. Do we make up excuses? Do we dismiss the behavior knowing that it's unhealthy or it's telling us something about the character of this person, right? There could be lessons here in the future about Spirit actually waking you up in regards to something or someone, Libra. There's some level of illusion here. And there's going to be lessons around seeing the truth. And this could also be you taking a look at and realizing some things about yourself that needs to be realized as well. Okay, this bird is looking in the mirror. And so that says that there's some reflection that's happening. You may look around and everything you see, everyone you see is reflecting to you some part of yourself. And it may in fact be triggering, right? It may in fact get under your skin or frustrate you in some type of way. Well, this is Spirit trying to show you something. Spirit is trying to tell you something, right? Sometimes we are mirroring everybody and everyone is mirroring us, because Spirit is trying to get us to see the truth, the reality of who we are, not this illusion or this story that we've made up about ourselves. It's coming to the truth about it and working from there, And so, and we are all in this process, right? That's why we all mirror each other. Usually it's the thing that irritates your soul about somebody that is probably that thing that you need to work on within yourself. That's how that works with each of us, right? But there's some lessons around that for you coming up here that's going to stand out and just be all in your face. You're not going to be able to deny it. Now, whether or not you decide to keep living the lie or the illusion, that'll be up to you, but you won't be able to say that you didn't know, It's almost like, 20 years goes by and you look back at something and it's plain as day, but for some reason, you couldn't see it 20 years ago to save your life, right? It's like looking at a red ball, and you're looking at it and you're telling yourself it's blue. When it's plain as day, it's red. But because of some story you've told in your mind, you're saying it's blue. And nobody could tell you anything different, right? Now, 20 years pass and you're looking at that same ball. You're like, but it's obviously red, right? Why would I say that it's blue? I don't understand. It's because you've made up in your mind what you want to see. And so you won't be able to say that you didn't know because, later on the pieces will click and it'll become clear and you'll see like the lesson that Spirit was trying to teach you, right? For those of you that refuse to acknowledge the truth and want to continue moving in the illusion. And then there'll be those that say, okay, I get it. I get it. Yes, I get it. I see. Now let's see what we can do to fix this, And so, and again, we're all in this same mirroring process, each and every one of us. For you, this is being highlighted, Libra, in the future here. Okay. All right. And lastly, let's take a look at love. We did love already. Let's take a look at the future energy lessons around career. Career. What are the future lessons for Libra as it pertains to career? As it pertains to career for Libra. All right, Spirit, talk to us. Future energies, lessons around career in the future for Libra. We have King of Pentacles, the Hierophant, and the Ten of Pentacles. Okay. I feel like sometime in the future there's going to be this clarity around what you want. There's going to be this clarity around what you want. For some of you, you may not be quite sure right now, so you might be kind of dibbling and this and that, and, just kind of living and doing what's necessary. But I feel like in the future, there's going to be like a decisive energy towards what you want to work towards with the Ten of Pentacles. It's almost like you're going to enter into this new venture that's going to be very directed when it comes to how you see your career. So King of Pentacles, I feel like for some of you in the future, you're going to actually step into a very abundant energy. This is abundant energy, solid energy. You may, in fact, be the go-to person when it comes to, how one person is really stable and everybody goes to the rich uncle or the rich auntie to borrow money or to get advice. Like you're going to possibly be that person for some of you. And this could be because for someone here, you may make an investment that actually blows up in a good way. And that just sets you straight for the rest of life. There's someone here that may make an investment that actually is going to actually pay really good. And it's going to set you up for the rest of life, especially with the Ten of Pentacles coming out here. This is the energy coming out for you. And it's going to just change your whole lifestyle as well. I have 2 5s out here too. It's going to change your whole lifestyle. In regards to career, I feel like some of you may actually be having some type of spiritual endeavor with the Hierophant. Some type of spiritual endeavor. Some of you may marry into money. The Hierophant talks about commitment, a higher level of commitment or marriage. You may marry someone who has money. Um, yeah. And so I do feel like there is a major lifestyle shift for someone here that's going to get a very lucky break. Someone's going to make an investment, possibly, that's going to actually pay off really well. If you are robbing Peter to pay Paul right now, in the future, you're going to actually be the king of the hill. Okay? Yeah, there's a shift coming for your circumstances, Libra. This could also be like winning the lottery too. It's just a lucky streak. And let me just tell you, for Libra, we have like 2 more months to go. This whole year has been the year of the dragon, and it has been the year of Libra's luck. And so you all have been lucky all year long. So if you haven't like invested, and if you haven't like taken risks when it comes to money, like you possibly have been missing out on your lucky streak, because this has been your year, the year of the dragon, that has placed you all in very lucrative energy, very lucky energy. For some of you, this is actually going to turn out to be a burden. I can't help but think, the weight of going from poverty to riches. A lot of people think that that's all, fun and games, but there's a little bit of stress, with that change. For some of you, this is having to work towards this abundance. Some of you may have easy breaks, and some of you may, in fact, have to work towards this. Some of you may have to make some changes when it comes to your lifestyle. You may have to make some cutbacks in order to get here to this abundant place, right? This 10 of Wands talks about difficulties or challenges with work. Some of you may be having challenges or feeling burdened with the type of work that you do or with your job currently. You may be doing something that you no longer really want to do. It almost feels like feeling obligated, like there's a lack of enjoyment of this, or excitement or expectation to go do this. Like some of us, we are excited about going to work when we enjoy what we do, and others of us, it's a drag. It almost feels like a drag for you right now. Work may be very burdensome, and there's some things that's very stressful about it. For others of you, this could be that future energy around stepping into this abundance and having the pressure of being the one. Okay? This could be, pressure around this sudden change. Again, people think that this is all good and fun and games, but there's a lot of mental stress that comes with going from poverty to riches. There's a psychological weight that happens when that happens. There's a lot of triggers that take place as well. I feel like that's what this 10 of Wands is representing. So that whatever the change is in the future, whatever the weight of what you're carrying, it definitely feels like, a difficulty. Yeah, it definitely feels difficult, burdensome. It feels heavy and weighty. There's some things about that may present, some stress. All right. It came out again in your reading. I feel like for some of you in the future, there's going to be some things that you learn about yourself. That's possibly going to, the more, I feel like Spirit is saying, the more that you learn about yourself, it's going to point you in the right direction, right? And so if you're not sure, if you're still like in that, I don't know, right? You're just jumping from thing to thing until you feel like you're just going to run into what it is that you're meant to do. There's a little bit more intention that's needed than that. And Spirit wants you to learn more about yourself. It might even be helpful to do some of those self-evaluations like the Briggs and Meyer. Have you guys ever done those? To kind of take a look at some of your personality traits, it actually points to different areas that you might be good at by answering questions, right? There's some other personality tests and stuff that you can take too to learn about yourself. But I feel like Spirit is guiding you to do a little self-discovery. And for some of you, you'll be doing that. I feel like the more you do things like that, to delve into yourself, the more you'll become more clearer about what it is that you're meant to do and what direction you're meant to be going in. For some of you, this feels very practical, practically driven. For others of you, it does feel a little spiritual with this Hierophant. But it feels like, a lot of change, right now for you that's happening in the future. Possibly some endings for some of y'all to walk into the next best season. For some of y'all, a change in how you're viewing things, getting a little bit more secure with yourself and knowledgeable of yourself. With that is going to bring in new energy as well. But as far as the future goes with your career, for some of y'all, you're going to be real lucky here in the future. And for others of you, you're heading into a journey of exploration around yourself. That's going to give clarity. Spirit wants you to delve into yourself more. The more you learn about yourself, the more you'll identify what you came to do and areas that's going to be fulfilling for you, right? It's more than just running into, sometimes we do run into our calling or our niche, but more than likely it has to be more intentional. That's something that we're looking for, right? And so definitely change coming in the future. However that happens, Libra, brace yourself for change, okay? All right, whether that's, I also see the energy, if I haven't said it before, possibly needing to change some spending habits for some of you. Needing to change some spending habits, feels like that's coming in here, a change in spending habits, and possibly gravitating towards seeing money as an energy, more spiritually, right? Yeah. All right, that's what I have for you, Libras. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you. If you resonated with anything, like, share, please do comment. I am loving all of the comments, even just to stop by and say, hey, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm sending love out to each and every one of you all. If you are new to the channel, welcome to Blood Moon Oracle. Feel free to subscribe. Hopefully you found what you were looking for. Encouragement, just something to carry you through to your next blessing, right? Whatever that is, hopefully you found it, Libra. Okay, so until next time, it has been Blood Moon Oracle, and I am signing off saying take care, Libra. Until next time, I will talk to you guys soon. Bye. Oh yeah, and if you like this video, I'm going to post another video up here. You may like that one as well. So take a look, right? And I'll also post my little subscribe button too right here. So take a look and have fun with it. Lots of stuff to explore on this page. So until next time, I'll see ya. Bye, Libra.